Today we're making a super creamy lemon chicken gnocchi that can be made simply with a store-bought gnocchi, or you can show off your skills with a pillowy homemade version.
Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome back to Dinner and a Side, where my sister and I solve your dinner dilemma with a main dish and a side. Follow along and you'll have dinner on the table in no time. If you're looking for something easy but still impressive, this is the one. Whether you buy store-bought gnocchi or make it yourself, we know you're gonna love this.
Today I'm using chicken breasts, but these are a little big, so I'm going to cut them in half lengthwise to get 4 thinner pieces. Then season each piece with garlic powder and lemon pepper seasoning. Make sure to check the ingredients on the seasoning. You want to make sure there's salt in there. If there's not, you'll want to add a little salt as well. Add oil and butter to a skillet over medium-high heat. Once it's hot, add the chicken and sear it on both sides. It'll take about 5 to 6 minutes per side to reach 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Did you know you don't have to cook chicken breast to 165 degrees for it to be safe to consume? According to the USDA, 160 degrees is safe for lean cuts of chicken as long as it's held at that temperature for 14 seconds. Another great way to ensure your chicken is juicy and not overcooked. When it's done, transfer it to a plate. Now Laura's making the gnocchi. Let's pop over to her.
We mentioned this at the beginning. You can either use store-bought gnocchi or make your own. It's entirely up to you. There are some really great brands out there that are fluffy and chewy,
and some brands that are gummy and gluey too.
Yes, very good point. But if you can't find one you like, you'll just have to make your own. It's not really that difficult. I learned how to make it at a cooking class in Tuscany. It's pretty easy. To make it, all you need are potatoes, flour, eggs, and some salt. I use russet potatoes because they're starchy with a dry texture. I also use type 00 flour that's more finely milled and has less protein than all-purpose flour. It gives the dough a more silky, smooth texture and makes it softer, more elastic dough. If you don't have any 00 flour or don't want to buy it, that's okay. All-purpose flour will work just fine. To start, we have to boil the potatoes. Start them off in cold water and let them gradually come to a boil. This keeps them from releasing too much starch too quickly and becoming gummy and unevenly cooked. Once they're soft and can easily be pierced with a fork, take them out of the water. When they're cooled slightly, you can peel off the skin and mash them up. You want to mash them when they're still warm, not hot to the touch, but warm. And my preference is to use a potato ricer. It looks like this. Put the potatoes in and you just smash it like a huge garlic press. If you don't have one of these, you can always just mash the potatoes another way. I also like to just smash them right onto the work surface. Then you can just load these up and put them right there on the work surface. Then make a well. Pour the flour on top. Notice I'm not using all of the flour. I'll get to that in a minute. And crack the eggs into the well. I'm making a double batch with 2 eggs because I love having some left over, but for today's recipe you only need half of this. Whisk the egg, then start to incorporate the flour and the egg into the potato. Start to quickly form a ball. Knead it, but only gently and as quickly as you can so that you don't overwork the dough. Overworking it is how it becomes tough and rubbery. You don't need it to be firm like bread dough, just so that it holds together. So there are 2 ways that this is going to become dry and rubbery, and that is overworking it or putting in too much flour. So I try to touch it as little as possible, and I don't put in all of the flour. I'm going to put some of this on the work surface so that it doesn't stick, and that's going to end up incorporating into it. But you just want it to be so it's slightly tacky. If I touch it, it's going to come off on my hands. But I've only worked this enough that it sticks all together. So I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. Okay, let's set these back here for now. I'm going to add a little bit of flour to the work surface so that the dough doesn't stick. Starting with just 1 piece of dough, roll it out with your palms, pulling gently towards you. If pieces break off, that's fine, just set them aside. See how I'm spreading my fingers as I roll to encourage the dough to spread out? Keep rolling 1 piece until it's in a long, thin strand. Once you have some strands ready to cut, you can grab a knife or a pastry cutter and just chop them into small pieces. Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest of these while Angie makes the sauce.
Now that I've taken the chicken out of the pan, I can use it to make the sauce. Reduce the heat to medium and add the garlic to the skillet. Cook for just 30 seconds. Stir in the chicken broth and lemon juice. Whisk to remove the brown bits from the bottom of the pan. Now whisk in the cream. All right, Laura, we're ready for the gnocchi. How's it coming over there?
I'm finished with all the gnocchi, and I didn't make a huge mess in the kitchen. The last step is to roll it on the back of a fork to give it some nice little grooves in it. This is pretty easy to do, but you need to be gentle about it. Don't press too firmly. You'll want to do this for all of the pieces and then store them on a baking sheet sprinkled with flour to keep them from sticking. These ones have been resting, so they're ready to go.
There's no need to boil the gnocchi first. Add it right to the skillet with the sauce. Make sure the gnocchi is submerged in the liquid and allow it to cook at a simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. You can give it a stir occasionally to make sure it's not sticking. The starch from the gnocchi will thicken the sauce, so don't let it get too thick. If necessary, thin it out with a little water or broth. It will continue to thicken when you take it off the heat, so don't let it get too dry. Stir in the Parmesan cheese and the spinach. Let it sit for a minute until the spinach wilts. Give it a taste and season with salt and pepper if it needs it. Then add the chicken back to the pan and let it heat back up for a few minutes before serving. Garnish with some lemon slices. Doesn't that look incredible? You know, the homemade gnocchi makes such a difference.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more delicious recipes. We'll see you next time.